New information tonight, the FBI warning there could be an attack on the Capitol from the inside. What military leaders are now saying.
Looking at some pretty uneventful weather across the inland northwest this week, but tracking the potential for much cooler than normal temperatures for a change for this upcoming weekend and beyond, which could put a little bit more snow into the mix.
Plus, with Martin Luther King Jr. Day being tomorrow and the pandemic still raging across the country, what are some ways you can celebrate safely? We'll let you know about the virtual events here in Spokane. Breaking now at 11, this is a live look at the U.S. Capitol, which remains under tight security for Joe Biden's inauguration this Wednesday. But tonight, defense officials are now worried about a possible inside attack at the inauguration. Good evening, and thanks so much for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Tim Pham. Defense officials told the Associated Press that concerns of an inside attack is prompting the FBI to vet all 25,000 National Guard members in D.C. Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy told the AP that he told commanders to watch for any problems within their ranks. But at this point, leaders say they have seen no evidence of any threats, and vetting hasn't flagged any issues. They say vetting of 25,000 troops will be complete by Wednesday. Now taking a live look at our nation's capital once again, Olympia is also under strict security right now. The National Guard standing by in our state capital. In total, about 600 National Guard members will be on watch through Wednesday. The FBI warned all 50 states to be prepared for demonstrations as we get closer to the inauguration. Washington Governor Jay Inslee says he believes that security is working in deterring violent protests.
We've had good success when we responded to the violence at the Capitol. I'm very appreciative of the National Guard who left their families to come patrol in the rain, and the Washington State Patrol. And that deterrent value has been effective to prevent violence in our Capitol.
The Washington State Patrol says there are no specific threats against the Capitol at this moment, but that there is, quote, an abundance of uncertainty across the country. Well, today we're learning more about what President-elect Joe Biden plans to do on his first day in office. So let's take a closer look at some of Biden's executive orders. On day one, he plans to end restrictions on immigration to the U.S. from some Muslim-majority countries. He will also rejoin the Paris Climate Accord and make masks mandatory on federal property and during interstate travel. He will also extend the pause on student loan payments and take other action intended to prevent evictions and foreclosures for those struggling during the pandemic. And as President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration day is quickly upon us, so is President Trump's final days in office. President Trump is set to leave the White House early Wednesday morning and is planning to give remarks at a farewell event. Ben Tracy reports from the White House.
With the nation's capital now an armed fortress ahead of the inauguration, President Trump spent the weekend out of sight behind the walls of the White House.
I believe it is constitutionally dangerous not to proceed.
Democrats plan to begin the impeachment trial as soon as this week, and the president is still searching for a defense team. Trump campaign spokesman Hogan Gidley tweeting, President Trump has not yet made a determination as to which lawyer or law firm will represent him. Rudy Giuliani was seen entering the White House Saturday and says he's involved. But given his own role in potentially inciting the mob that stormed the Capitol,
let's have trial by combat.
Some Republicans don't want him anywhere near the Senate trial.
If it's Rudy Giuliani's defense, I think it raises the likelihood of more than 17 Republicans voting for conviction.
President Trump is set to leave office with the lowest approval rating of his presidency. A new poll shows it hitting a rock-bottom 29%, with 75% of Americans saying he bears some responsibility for the attack on the Capitol. Some Democrats are attempting to bar him from ever entering the Capitol again or receiving post-presidency intelligence briefings.
There's no circumstance in which this president should get another intelligence briefing, not now, not in the future.
This is insane at every level.
But Trump loyalists are warning President-elect Biden to turn the page and oppose impeachment.
President Trump is trying to heal the nation, pursuing impeachment after he leaves the office will further divide the country. It will ruin the start of your presidency, Joe Biden. You need to stand up to the radical left.
Sources close to President Trump say a final batch of pardons is still coming in the next couple of days. The real question is who gets one. The president may try to preemptively pardon some of his adult children or even himself. Ben Tracy, CBS News, the White House.
Well, thousands of households in the Spokane area are still without power for the 5th day. Now, despite telling customers that they would get their power back on by 6 p.m. today, Avista is still reporting that 3,000 customers are without power tonight. Across the state line, there are 14 Kootenai Electric customers waiting for their power to be restored, and there are only 7 Inland Power customers who are waiting for their power to be turned back on. Well, parts of the inland Northwest are still recovering from that devastating windstorm. Meteorologist Michelle Boss joining us now live from home. And Michelle, I heard we may have some quieter weather in the week ahead. Definitely welcome news for people cleaning up from the storm.
Yeah, fortunately, no big storms, no big rainstorms, snowstorms, or windstorms, at least for this upcoming week. But we're not going to see the warm temperatures that we've seen for much of January. As we take a look at satellite and radar right now, things pretty quiet across the region. Still do have some stubborn low clouds from the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area on southward. And even if they do manage to break up a little bit overnight, likely some fog would fill in as well. So looking kind of like a gray start to your Monday, but hoping to see a little bit of sunshine by the afternoon, at least a couple of hours. 33 right now in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and in Deer Park. Moses Lake also checking in at 33, but below freezing in Ritzville and Pullman, same point, right at the freezing mark. Here's a look at the next 12 hours. I think this computer model is a little optimistic with the clouds clearing out. We'll see probably mostly cloudy skies throughout the morning hours and hopefully a little bit more in the way of sunshine for the afternoon. So we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. 36 for the high, a little closer to average temperatures for this time of year. Mostly cloudy on Tuesday and Wednesday, dry with highs once again in the mid-30s.
All right, Michelle, thank you. We're just getting started here on the news at 11 with Martin Luther King Jr. Day being tomorrow and the pandemic still at play. What are some safe ways to celebrate? We'll let you know about the virtual events going on in honor of the late civil rights leader.